today. Oh my god, look at the hair. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I best put my hat on in a second. Anyway, this is going to be a stream that is going to be focusing on what happens after a torn hamstring, an Achilles rupture, and 2 broken toes on the right leg and 1 broken toe on the left leg. After a horrific accident, I'm happy to say that around 11 months later, I'm back on the football pitch. This is the really tough one because football, unlike Muay Thai, MMA and grappling, which I also do, is much more dangerous because people are constantly kicking at your legs. And the twists and turns that you do in football are more, let's say, unnatural, right? So yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys some things that I've been doing that have really helped me. Of course, I tried everything, so some things that I won't be doing here today because it's just not possible, but I just wanted to put it out there, is everything from yoga, like light yoga, to acupuncture, to visualizations, to meditation, to walking backwards in a swimming pool for hours and hours and hours on end. That's something I did, like, I think I've got 350 plus hours just walking backwards in a pool. I did 2 to 3 sessions a week, and I would stay about 3 hours in a pool, and then sometimes I'd do like a weekend session with my cousin. I'd take him, we'd go to the pool, and then we just work out on the pool. We would take extra weights, we would practice everything from walking backwards, walking sideways, rubber bands, things like that, just to get the body working again. And another thing is, of course, acupuncture, which is really good. I think acupuncture has a good short time recovery benefit. If you do it more often, you're going to get more benefits from it, but I tend to just use it for when things were really, overloaded and I felt that heavy energy in my leg. And additionally, today what I'm going to be showing you is hyperarch fascial training. So there is a coach called Coach Chong Shi. I think that's his name. He works with UFC fighters. He works with footballers in the Bundesliga over in Germany, and he's been working miracles. And what he tries to do is create that tensile strength within your leg to strengthen it. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of practices that I've been doing, and if you guys have any of those injuries, I know they can be quite horrific. I know doctors tend to say, okay, that's you're messed up, you're never going to be the same, but you can actually come back stronger. And I feel that I'm living proof of that, even though I'm still a work in progress. But I mean, I'm already back to doing Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. So if I can do it, and the doctors told me that it would take 2 years until I'm back to that point, then you guys can do it too. So I'm going to show you some practices real quick, and then hopefully y'all can use them. All right, so I'm going to get my cap on here, and hopefully you can see this. Right, sorry guys, you're going to have to look at my foot. So this was the broken ruptured leg here, and the first practice that we're going to try is pulling. Hi there, hiya Zakip, I think that was Zakip. Pulling this part of your foot to this part of your foot without moving your foot from the ground. So that would be something like this. So you're creating an arc, and ultimately that's going to store energy later on. The idea is it's going to store energy later on, and you're going to have a structural integrity that's going to save up energy in between the moments when you're sprinting, right? So it's not going to be like floppy, it's not going to be too stiff and rigid, it's going to be something in between, and you're going to pull that to each other, right? And you do about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. No, I'm Irish, my friend. All right, so the next thing is, you can take a marble, a piece of paper, it doesn't really matter. You put it on the ground, like that. get it in between your toe and the second longest foot, the second longest toe. So your big toe and your second longest toe. And then what you do is, no, not from Canada, from Ireland. And what you do is you go back and forth like this. And what you want to try and do is generate the foots, from the toe right up to your glutes, the connection, and you want to feel a light burn. Now, depending on how athletic you are, that will come after maybe 10-20 seconds. And in some cases it might take 2-3 minutes. Right? So that's already two things you can do. Now another thing you can do is, let's just say we've got this here. This is a towel, right? Any sport you play, you can use this. This is a towel here. And you don't want to go into dorsiflexion, meaning you don't want to bend over too much. You want to keep this at a 45-degree angle. And what you do is you put 60% of your weight on this leg. And then you start grabbing the towel, or in this case my bag. And you do this repeatedly for around 2 to 3 minutes. And you consciously keep the toe connected to your buttocks, to your glute, right? And you're working through it, and you'll see here the veins, the muscles, everything. The idea is to create a structural integrity that is spring-loaded and ready to sprint. All right, so that's that. Now the other exercise I've been doing, you can keep this here, in between here, and what you do is kind of like a cycling motion. So you keep it, and it's kind of like you're sprinting. Now keeping that between my toes teaches my foot that any motion, any change in angle for my knee, there is still a structure to be maintained. And seeing as your leg, or the fascia inside your leg, has Newtonian properties, when you make impact to the ground, boom, everything is ready and spring loaded. It's not weak and floppy, and you won't have structural issues where it leads to your leg just collapsing. Or for example with Kobe Bryant, when Kobe Bryant came back after his Achilles tear, his knees were just too weak, right? So the idea behind this is to help out with that structure. Now the last part, my favorite part, is ball juggling. This is the most funnest part. I'm going to do a bit of ball juggling. It's going to be very simple, nothing too special. And then walking backwards. So the walking backwards, my legs are lightly, just not too strong of a stiffness, but just slightly, you know, they're kind of spring ready. And I'll be walking backwards. And then backwards again. And then of course you've got the hops, right? The hops, like this. And I tend to do 100 of them, right? But yeah, now I'm going to do some ball juggling. Hopefully all those steps help you. So if you have an Achilles issue, if you've been having a knee issue, hip issue, whatever it was, then hopefully those techniques will help you, help improve your structural integrity, help you get stronger again. And yeah, so now I'm going to do a bit of ball juggling, and in about 3-4 minutes I'm going to cut the stream, and we'll see how the ball juggling goes. So no tricks, flicks or anything like that. It's all just very simple today. Just some basic ball juggling, just getting to learn how to distribute the weight from right to left. Nothing too strong. So I'm going to do about another 2 minutes of that. So very simple, throwing the ball up, catching it, bringing it down, playing with it a little, nothing too special. So those are some basics that you can try at home if you've been having those issues. And yeah, hopefully this video is going to help someone out there that's had the same injury as me and help you get better. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I'm happy to help. And for now, God bless, huh? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Let's not overdo it, eh? Alright, till then.